Hey guys, my name is Alex and thank you very much for stopping by. Really appreciate. And today I want to solve the previous problem, in a more Ruby way. And before going directly to the code, I just want to make sure, I just want to have this kind of reminder of how you can take this course or this series in this case. Well, as you can see here, I have this kind of draft. These are the courses. This is the learning environment that I've set up, with courses that I want to record. And this is a draft. Again, a terrible draft, by the way. I'm kind of receiving some feedbacks, and probably I'm gonna change a lot of things here. But you kind of have this roadmap of what I want to do. So you have videos, exercises, ebooks, code snippets, which is really important because when you are watching something on YouTube, it's difficult to follow along because you are watching and you have to pause and then type the code and pause again, and that's not the best experience. And you have this learning environment that you can have all of these things. So you have a huge roadmap, because I love to overcommit myself, and you have a lot of things in Java, in Spring, in microservices, and design patterns, data structures, Kotlin, and Go, and TypeScript, architecture in general. You have a lot of things that I've worked with, or that I'm still using, that I'm still working, things that I really love, and you can go there. This is this series, coding series in specific, you can have this URL. I'm sharing all of these URLs on the comments below, and you have this kind of more organized way to watch all of them. So you have, again, as I said before, you have some descriptions here, and you have all of the content. So again, as I said before, this is a more organized way to do things. You have, the day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until the last one, and you have all of the coding challenges. And here, as you can see, I have this kind of user test, and you have all of the days here. So you can just watch all of the videos here. Yeah, that's me. And one of the things that I really love is that you can have this blog post and code snippets. So if you click here, you will see that, let me see, yes, and it opens this blog post, in this same environment, which is fantastic because you can go through all of these steps, that you have taken from this specific video, and you have, some kind of explanations, a description of a few things, and you have all of the code snippets. So if you want to take all of these code snippets, that's amazing. So that's it. So that's one way, a little bit more organized to do, instead of doing that on YouTube. And in this case, the video here is still coming from YouTube. Just a reminder, if you want to take this right here, you can just go here and sign up for free. That's it. So going back to the problem, that was our problem. The problem was I want to validate if the number that I have has repeated digits. So just remember really quick, because I'm kind of assuming that you have watched that video. You have 777, and this is a repeated digit or rip digit because I have the first digit and all of them are the same. So is okay because this is a repeated digit. If you take 9999999, that's also okay because the first digit is 9 and all of them are 9. But you have 4445, yeah, you have a problem because yes, you have 4, 4, 4, but you have 5, which in this case, this is not a repeated digit. That's it, and this is not okay. That was the problem, and that was our first logic solution to this problem. And before going straight to the Ruby way to solve this problem, I want to solve this, I want to at least organize the kitchen here. I want to organize this method. So what I want to do is, instead of having this line is okay, I'm just converting this number into an array. That sounds really good. And then I'm taking this first digit, which in this case I'm using only here. what I can do, I can just inline this code. So I'm going to remove this and inline this code. And you know, it seems that it's expressing what it wants, which in this case is item is different from the first number in this array. That sounds good. And instead of using this count equals 0, I can just say that I want to remove this, and what I want to return is this equals 0. And then, because this, of course, this expression, I'm counting this, and this expression evaluates to a specific result. So I'm going to remove this, and that's it. I'm going to write is Repdigit, and I'm going to validate 7. If I execute this code, yes, true. But if I change that to 5, it should be false. And here we go. So it's working. Again, this is a little bit better code that we had previously. And yeah, let's see how Ruby beautifully solves this type of problem. Now I want to create another method just to indicate that this is a Ruby way. Is Repdigit Ruby way. Again, I'm still receiving this number as an argument, and here we go. So the way that Ruby solves this is that I'm going to replace this, of course, and then I have this number, and I can say that I still want to convert that into a string, so to s, but then I want to use a method called squeeze. And you know, the definition of squeeze is that you are squeezing something, you know, you have this kind of bigger number and you are squeezing that. You have a smaller version of that number and you have this squeeze. And what this method does is that I'm going to test this with you. Let's say that you have 7, 7 and 5 and 5. And what happens is that I'm going to execute this. And as you can see, you have just 5, 7, and 5, which means that this method removes all of the duplicated numbers. So I'm going to remove this because you have 2, and I'm going to remove these 2 because you have 3. You know, I have only 1 digit for each sequence, for each number that is repeated here. So if you have, for example, 99991, if I execute this, you should have 9 because that's 1. I'm going to keep only one of them, which in this case I'm going to remove this, and 1, you already have 1, so I'm going to keep that number. But what happens is if I have 99999, if I execute this, yes, you have removed all of them and you have only 1. Which means that if you have numbers that are repeated, you know, and you execute this, you always have the number itself. And I'm going to call, let me see here, call the length, which is the length of the squeeze, which in this case is 1. You know, because if you have repeated numbers, then the length is 1. It's always 1, you know. So just to stress it enough, let's say that I have 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and you have the length 1. But you have, for example, 2, 2. You have length 2 because you have 2 numbers, you know. I think you got it. So I have 7, 7, 7, 7, and the length of this number should be 1. If I execute this, true, amazing. So I'm going to clean out here. Let's execute 7, 7, 5, and false. Perfect. So that's working. You know, this is a little bit better version, in my humble opinion, than this version here because it's a little bit clearer what's happening here, and you can just use the squeeze. That's one way to do that. Another way, really fast, another way to solve that, just because I'm already here, I'm going to use this version 2. It takes a number as an argument, which is perfect. I can just say, number, please, I want to convert it to a string, and then I want to take all of the chars in this string, and I want to calculate all the unique values. I think that this example expresses a little bit better what you want. You have the number to a string. I want to take all of the chars, and then I want to calculate all of the unique values. That's it. And then I want to call the method length, which in this case should be, let me validate this. You have false, which in this case, of course, I'm using this one. Okay, this length should be 1. If I execute this method, and here you go. It seems that working. If I replace that again for 7, let me check. And here you go, you have true. So that's it. That's the beautiful way that Ruby solves this problem, which is fantastic. I think that this problem, or this way to solve this problem, express a little bit more what you want. So that's it. I hope that you will like it, and see you in the next video.